Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Catalina Summit Series 164 BHX travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when you're parking this. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for that awning. On your off campsite, main thing I need you to think about over here is where your power and water connections are going to be. Power on this corner, water connection on the rear toward your campsite. So park accordingly so you utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive, unhook our hitch. First thing we're going to do is level our unit. It comes with a hand crank. Crank it to the right to bring it up, to the left to bring it down. Once you've got it level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. On the rear, because scissor stabilizing jacks, 3/4 inch hand crank. You can use a drill gun or an impact driver. Just slow down when you get to the bottom. I recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads can protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris. Keep them from sinking into a hot blacktop at the campsites. Get a pair of those from our store with your 10% off coupon and run these down just until they're taut. So with your pad down there, you're going to run these down. Remember, our unit's already level. We're just trying to stabilize it. So run this down just until you've got some resistance on your hand crank and it starts to feel like it's lifted. Go put the other one down. Unit's level and stable. We can hook up our power and water. 30 amp cord plugs in here on the rear. Pistol grip. Grab that, put it in at say 11 o'clock. Turn it to noon. Put your black washer on there. At the end of that 30 amp service, big long cord, should you need to plug into a 110, there's a 30 to 15 amp reducer. Get your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. Again, at campsites, we'll hook up where it says city water connection. A water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce water pressure to 40 to 50 psi. Always use these at campsites because you don't know what the water pressure is at different sites. So pull this out, hook this up, hook up your hose. Don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Yours is located on the off camp side. And all we're doing at this point, folks, is just making sure our drain plug's in there. Get that in there nice and snug. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn your hose on. After that hose is on, for a few minutes, go inside, turn on your sinks, your showers, get a steady flow of water going through them, get all the air out of the lines, and shut them off, and you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to take this dry camping, or boondocking as we like to call it. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank over here next to our hot water heater. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can gravity fill this with a hose. 2 ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right there. Or 2 on the inside where you check the level of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Don't leave this unattended when you're filling it. Once it's full, remove that hose, put this cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize this water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump and hook to that city water. That is already pressurized. Alright, we're all set to camp with power and water. Let me walk you around the unit. Continuing here on the off-camp side with our hot water heater. Pressure release valve. If your hot water heater doesn't seem to be working, come out here to see if either one of these are bubbled up. If they are, simply press them back in. They are a override. The only time you ever want to turn this on out here is if you are hooked up to 110. Again, our fresh water, underneath that our freshwater drain. Down here is our low point drain. These two. Back here you got your black and gray tanks. We'll talk about those when leaving the campsite. Here's where you plug in your cable as you camp. Again, our power. You're prepped for a ladder. Hook it up there and go up and check the seams of your roof a couple times a year. Caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. You're also prepped for a backup camera. Black tank flush, we'll talk about that when leaving the campsite. Again, our city water. leash link in case you want to bring the pet with you. Over on our campsite, we got outdoor speaker, a range vent, a couple 110s out here. So flue for our furnace, few things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear that it does get hot. Although I'd show you nice, it does add a little heat underneath here, your awning area. And they also sell bug guards for those. There is your hitch work and your passive storage there with your water hose, part of your convenience pack. Battery posts, check them every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. Down in this corner is your disconnect, your battery disconnect, excuse me. That'll disconnect all the battery power to the unit. And then your propane, lefty loosey to open on that. It covers everything out here. Go take a look on the inside. Coming up inside the unit, first thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. There's our television, we'll get to that shortly. As soon as you come in up to our left is going to be our control panel. So up here is where you see the levels of your tanks. You got fresh water, you see them, we're draining that back out right now. Black and gray tanks, brand new battery. Here's where you can connect to Bluetooth like this. Interior, exterior, which is my awning lights. Those awning lights have a remote control that you can do all kinds of cool stuff with them. Change the colors and dance and make you do lots of stuff. Water pump, that's where you can turn that on at. Your water heater over here. Your awning. On your awning, you only want to run that out until that flap falls down and you can see that brown bar. If I were to hold that extend down, that will turn around, flip up onto itself, and start to run itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run it out. Don't run it out further than you need to. Also, bringing it in or out, you want to make sure your exterior door is out of the way. I've got it about 90 degrees here. That's keeping it out of the way. So as that comes in, I'll shut off my awning lights. As it continues in, I will tell you that these doors work best when gently slammed. Coming down to the radio here, turn that on here. Indoor and outdoor speakers. Turn the volume up here. And now I'll scan and try to find, oops, I have to go auxiliary and Bluetooth or AM, FM. See if I can pick up a station in here. Well, let's scan it for a station. Over here is your TV. There we go. So indoor and outdoor speakers. Take it off. Touch it for standby, hold it in to shut it off. TV, I just want to mention again, make sure this red light is on at your antenna for both your TV and your radio. Smoke alarm here. Bunch of manuals in your paperwork, check all that out. The storage with your remotes for your awning, your sound system, and your TV. This is on a mount that you can literally just lift it straight up and it'll come off the wall. Again, when you get to the campsite, go into your menu, run a digital channel scan so that you can pick up the local channels of where you're at. Coming into the unit here, this is going to be our furnace return. This is our breaker box and fuses. Ton of 15s in there. Couple of 40s. Highly recommend having a variety of those with you when you go camping. Over here is our 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mentioned that's 12 volt, that is always running off your battery. So if you are out dry camping, nothing plugged in charging your battery, use your battery disconnect up front to keep this running your battery down if you're going to be gone all day. Up here on the wall is our self-explanatory microwave. Turn our furnace on. Hear that crank up? Now you notice I shut the furnace off. You'll hear that fan run for a few minutes before it actually cycles through and shuts off. So that our fridge, lighting here for our bathroom, lighting here for our bathroom. When you first arrive at the campsite, flush this a couple times, put some water in your black tank. Your black tank will thank you later. You got a 110 with GFCI reset here, a hand crank open power exhaust vent, access to your plumbing under there, square head screws on most of these. Coming out of our bathroom, our bunks have individual lighting, one touch like that. A little storage underneath there. Our sofa can become an entertainment center with cup holders, or it will jackknife down. See all that storage down there? Jackknife down into a bed, which you can get under without having to lift the front up, just by pulling this door away. It's just magneted down there. Those storage underneath your bed, or not storage, just want to mention underneath your bed is your access to your outdoor storage. 110 and charging ports here, and that about covers everything in here. Oh, our AC. Bet you hear that cranking up. Quick dump. I'm going to blast that in here. So it's in here. Quick dump. And that about covers everything. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I like to start by coming over here and shutting off that interior light. Now I know any other lighting that's on. I forgot to mention your stove. Just off my fan here. Your stove does light by turning it to high and then pushing it forward. Again, you hear the spark when you push forward. Make sure your gas is on. Alright, we'll continue closing this up now. Back here, we want to make sure that is closed. Your vent's closed there. Door secure. After I shut off all the individual lighting, I can come back to my control panel, turn on my interior, say doors and drawers. Make sure you've walked through the unit, closed all doors and drawers. Nothing's going to bounce all over the place. We have everything secure for travel. Shut off my interior lights and exit the unit. See another light I had on. There we go. The steps will simply just fold up underneath here. Fold and lift. Now if we are dry camping, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks to the back there. Come over here and dump that freshwater drain. If we're at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up them stabilizing jacks, and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is right behind your tires on your off camp side. 10-foot hose comes your convenience pack. Hook that up and pull your sewer outlet connection, otherwise known as black handle black tank. Once that sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, check the level. If it shows empty or close to it, go ahead and come back out here. Leave that handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook up to this black tank flush. Again, emphasizing leaving that black handle open. Turn that hose on for a good 5 minutes. Let that wash that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, close this up. Make sure all that drain out water or washout water you just put in there has drained. When that's drained, close your black and pull your gray. While my grays are draining, get up underneath here. Dump them low point drains. Also, if you're done camping for a while, come up the side here, lift up on this pressure release valve first. There may be some hot water in there. When that's done, put that down, and then you can pull your drain plug for your residual hot water. When your grays are done, close that gray, take your sewage hose, pick it up, and conveniently, more importantly sanitarily, store it right there in your bumper, and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Summit for many years to come. Happy camping.